Broskadamus here, and we're back again with another episode of Final Fantasy Tactics Advanced X. This episode we're going to be doing Thesis Hunt. And if any of you remember from last episode, when I thought I was getting sick, I got sick, I called it. So that's why there hasn't really been any videos that last week, but everything's better now. Still getting over it a little bit, but everything's better now and we can continue more regularly than once a week. So let's kick it off again with a new episode. Now in this episode, I ran into some problems. I ran into my first game-breaking crash, and I'll point it out when we actually get to it in the gameplay. So for now, we're going to be looking over our characters here and figuring out who needs new gear, because obviously we're going to be mastering stuff as we go. And what I come across is an idea to get a thief going, but I don't really have a good character to use as a thief, because I don't want to switch something to a thief and risk potentially messing up the stats. So instead, I figured that I would just make Mont Blanc the thief, because I don't really care about Mont Blanc. I mean, if you've been watching any of this, you probably already know that, but that's not really important, so I decided to use him since he's going to be kind of our temporary characters. I plan to use other characters later on instead of him. So, as you can see, what we've done now is we've actually bought a judge's staff for our healer, which will give him Shell, which is the magic one, I believe. If you saw our last episode, I fucked those up. Sorry. Still getting over being sick. If it becomes obnoxious, I will edit them out in post here. Now I'm going to try to decide on what I want here, and I decide that the Scramasax was the best choice. And if I butchered that pronunciation, please correct me, because there's going to be some pronunciation butchering going on when I play these, so... And I thought about getting some accessories and defensive items, but I decided against it. Alright, so let's jump in and outfit our characters here, and like I said before, we're switching Mont Blanc to the Thief because I don't care about his stats. And later on, when I actually get somebody who I want to raise their speed or make them a Thief, I will do so. But for now, he's a good placeholder. He's been an Animist for a while, leveled as an Animist for a little bit, so as far as I'm concerned, he makes a decent replacement. And the reason I'm going with a thief this time around is because there's an item I want to steal from a paladin on this mission. And, I mean, you'll see it later. It extends the length of the video a little bit, so if you're not interested in that part, the video is roughly over by that point, and I'll let you know you can skip ahead. So now as we double check here, I am checking our stats and our levels, trying to make sure we're keeping up, and double checking Marsh and Yavei's stats compared to one another. And this time more than ever, make sure that you save. I don't know if anybody else is going to have this problem, but it was definitely an issue for me, and it happened every time repeatedly. I tried it twice to make sure it wasn't a fluke, and I'll be able to point it out here after we deploy. Yeah, bandits don't usually care about shit that's intelligent. Shut up, Mont Blanc. No, they're not. No, he's not. Don't encourage him. And I apologize if you can hear the bird in the background. It won't stop. I've tried everything. It's covered in everything and it doesn't matter. And if you can't hear it, good. This mission is a lot of fun. You're damn right I was right. Out of my way, bitch! Now, as we confront the thieves, I didn't go into this with much of a plan. A lot of them that you jump into, you can kind of assess by looking at it, what you want dead, what you want controlled. But when I jumped into this one, there's a lot of varied threats. I will say that the Paladin wasn't really a big threat. He was tougher than shit, though. Physically, like, you couldn't do a lot of damage to him. You had to hit him with some spells, really, to get any big hits. So, when it comes to fighting the Paladin, I mean, I locked him down. But I didn't really want to let him get near me, because I wasn't sure how hard he would hit. But he wasn't the biggest threat, because he's really slow. So he doesn't get a turn very often. So if you just speed break him, or lock him down, he's out. There's not a lot he can do. The other thing that worried me was the healer that they got up there on the hill. That and their tactical advantage of being on the damn hill. Aside from that, this motherfucker right here has double sword. That is what you want dead first. Also, do not investigate his gear. Don't look at him and look at his gear and his stats. That is what will crash your game for you. It happened to me twice as I tested it. Crashed it every time when I tried to inspect his gear and abilities. Do not go past that. That is as far as you can look at. Do not look at abilities. For whatever reason, it makes it crash. I don't know why, it just does. So I took a look at the Paladin. He has the shield I want. And I'm going to steal the shield. That's what we're in it for. Now we're checking our turn order, trying to figure out, and they're really fast. This is a really fast enemy team. Except for the Paladin. For the most part, these thieves are going to get on you pretty quick. So I take an action against the most threatening enemy, the enemy with double sword that almost killed Mont Blanc right away. And we get it. That's a huge change in momentum. Now their double sword unit can't move. Now we can choose what to do to him. Not like that, that's nasty. We're gonna choose how to kill him, which I guess is nastier when you think about it. Okay, let's just not think about it. Instead, let's heal Mont Blanc. Well done. And then take our next course of action. Now, this guy, their soldier, kinda dangerous, but not overly troublesome. He's a basic melee attacker. If he's hitting our other melee characters, he's not a huge threat. So my option here was to keep him pinned in the front line and engaged, so he couldn't come back and smack around our weakly armored units like the cloth wearers, like our wizard here and our wizard, you fucking idiot. It's a black mage. This is Final Fantasy. Black mage and white mage. And now with the double sword speed broken, he's a little more reasonable, as thieves are pretty quick. And like I said before, I want to slow down and control the melee units that could potentially threaten my weaker backline troops. And so far, everything's going our way, which is great. The good news about this one is I didn't really play it multiple times, even though it crashed, as it always crashed right at the beginning, and that miss for sleep sucks, but we're still okay. Having it crash before I even got a chance to start and play didn't make me any better at it, so I don't feel like I'm having an unfair advantage like the last mission. That really sucked, but for this one, this is still new to me, how everything's reacting, because it always crashed right when I inspected that unit and tried to see what his abilities were. So don't do that. Do not check his abilities. Again, I can't stress that enough. I don't know if it'll crash for you, but it crashed for me, so make sure you save before you go into this mission, or you'll have to do all of your preliminary work again, and that really sucks. I had to do it twice because I was stupid and I didn't fucking save the first time. Now, it's clear that you can see that I'm focusing the double sword unit, and that's for a couple of reasons. One, he has fucking double sword, and two, he's a thief and he's really fast. My past experience with thieves always makes me angry because they often steal my gear, and money's a little more precious in this one than it was in the previous, at least vanilla version of this game. So I really don't like having to spend money on items I already own. So With that in mind, I always target thieves to be locked down or killed first, unless there's just something pressingly important that I need to control. Now, as you can see, their fast team is starting to slow down and lose ground to ours, even though ours isn't overly quick. And that's all thanks to speed braking. I love speed brake. I use the shit out of it. And at the point where I don't use it anymore, I will have to have better options that would weigh against using it. So we're going to be using it for a while. Now, I'm a little worried about the healer at this point because he is actually a capable healer. So you have to kind of game the AI a little bit. And that's not necessarily a difficult thing to do because it's not only is it an older game, but the AI functions predictably. So deciding who to heal for the AI and what action to take tends to go down to, is an enemy critically wounded? Or in their case, an ally critically wounded. And if it is, it's going to heal it. So it's best not to bring somebody to critically wounded state if you know that healer is going to get a turn. And I'm agonizing over right now what I'm going to do with my archer, because she's not in range to be very effective toward really anything, so I take the shot at the soldier. And it misses. I almost wrote that one off as a loss already because I didn't have any good angles to take with her, so I just took a shot. You can also, looking at this now, you can also make the choice to, and that's good. The miss is good. Really reduces the chip away we're going to face with the double sword. You can really choose with the archer to just take a regular shot. You don't have to actually take aim leg, and you could save yourself some mana. The archer does not have much mana, and aim leg is expensive in this. So it's always an option. It's really down to preference. I decided to take the aim leg shot as a shot in the dark. So when it comes down to preference, there's a lot of preference to be had. There's no right way to play this. There's easier and harder ways to play this for sure, but I mean, there's plenty of people who are way better than I am at this game, and they'll tell you maybe the same strategy or maybe totally outlandish different strategies that I've never even thought of. So play how you want to play. Don't let anybody tell you how to play. This is not what this series is about anyway. This series is about just either watching me pass or fail these, or if you need a reference as to what I use to get through it, you can use it as a reference. Now, this is kind of a long episode because I really agonized. Fuck. Can't fucking talk. Fucking idiot. I must put this on the internet and be ridiculed by grammar Nazis. Speech impediment Nazis. I don't know. But I really agonized over choices here, trying to decide what I wanted to kill first, and do I really want to bring it to critical state? And I take the combo here, trying to kill him before he goes to crit state. And we were just able to do it. So, and the healer does not have a way to revive. So if you can finish targets off before it has a chance to heal, you're not going to suffer too much attrition. Double checking, and we are going to have the thief next, so I want to put it under. But can I get an angle that's not going to expose everyone? So I decided to take the soldier, and at this point it was the right decision. And Mont Blanc levered up. Nobody cares about Mont Blanc. So then I attempt to block the forward momentum of those melee units because I still don't want them to get into my rear, giggity, and attack all of my weaker units. Is that attack all of my weaker units? Weaker areas, I guess, would be the giggity with that one. So now I'm trying to decide who gets the elemental death. My angles are kind of bad here because of how raised up the enemy is. You have to move fairly close and expose myself to be able to hit them with anything reliable. So I'm trying to deduce which one would be the easiest target that exposes me the least. Fuck, why can't I talk today? And just try my best at hitting it while protecting myself. So I choose to go with the archer even though I'm facing it, and I do hit it. And Black Mages in this just are brutal. They hit really hard. So, and here's where I blocked because I didn't want him to get to my White Mage. He does get to flank Mont Blanc, but Mont Blanc dodges it. Well done. So now we have the archer. The archer with the flank, potentially, on the thief here that's just moved to attack Mont Blanc. Now that I've taken out the double sword, and I've locked down the soldier, the only real pressing melee unit is that thief. So deciding what to do with the thief is the next objective. And as you can see, I did not have enough to use aim leg, because I chose to use it earlier. Now, if you chose not to use it earlier, you could have taken an aim leg shot there. Just something to think about. Now, I'm not entirely sure what their healer was doing here. I think he's just trying to get in range, moving up, as most enemies will do AI-wise. Now, I'm not a huge fan of the thief standing there and having a direct line to my white mage, so I'm not real thrilled about that, so he's going to need to be stopped. But I need to make sure that I'm not moving my white mage into a range to be attacked by anything, especially that paladin, which is what I checked. Now, this does give me the ability to heal. I am healing the enemy, but that's okay because he hasn't been hurt yet. He's just been speed broken and put to sleep, so it's better to get a heal on 3 of my more needed units than worry about healing him 0, I guess, in this case. So now the archer is getting at an angle. I'm okay with this. Block arrows is a great thing. The AI doesn't seem to differentiate that, it just seems to take on the target with the least health, or the target facing the poorest direction relative to the unit attacking. So, if that makes sense. So now we take our action to block his movement. He does get a counterattack, which did more damage than my attack. That pisses me off. Didn't notice that when I was playing. But now that we've blocked him, we can continue our defensive line. And while I'm at it, while he's asleep, I might as well power break him, since I'm choosing not to use Marsh for anything else, because I want to make sure that the thief can't get around our line. So that warrior has gone from a decent threat to almost non-existent threat. So I am going to try to put him to sleep again. This could make everything I did void. But it does not, so I'm glad that I built a backup plan. That's where the idea of, oh, this game is luck-based, relative to this game is based on the decisions you make, building up to where the luck plays in. So, essentially, make your own luck by making good decisions to cover your mistakes, or cover plans where luck could screw you. So, and when I say that, that's not coming from somebody who, oh, I got this game mastered. This shit's on lock. No, this is just from somebody who's played a lot of these games. And ever since I was little, I played this game when I was 12, 13, originally, on the Game Boy Advanced. So I've played this game multiple times after beating it since then. So, I've played it a lot. I mean, this mod changes a lot, so there's a lot you have to adjust to, but the core idea is the same. So, I don't want to kill the paladin, so I don't want to hurt him too much because I want to steal his shield. That shield is amazing, I plan to use it. So he can take a few hits though, because I really do want to kill that archer. But at the same time, you don't want to put them into critical state because you don't want that healer to, well, heal them essentially and force you to work for it harder than you really need to. But I don't look, well, it doesn't look like I'm going to put anybody in critical status, so went for it. And we did hit the paladin. Sadly, I really wanted to hit the archer more than anything else. But I do notice a mistake. I move into range, which was kind of my only choice, and I do get hit by the paladin. The paladin does hit pretty hard, but he is slow. And knowing that I'm getting a heal, I was kind of okay with moving him there. Kind of avoided out that damage, and did bring the paladin into striking range. So, looking at that from a third party now, after I've already done it, obviously this isn't post, I'm not upset about that move. Even though it was sort of a mistake, it did allow me to get an attack off that I hoped to get off on the archer. And he is going for an immobilize on Yave. And he misses. And that's good. Although even if he had hit it, I don't think it would matter too much. We still have our line. And we have a good string of actions we can take before the thief gets his turn. So I'm comfortable with taking an action against him. meaning I'm comfortable at taking an action against the paladin. We do miss the sleep, and that sucks. I was a little upset about that, but the fact that I can block the thief effectively using my soldier because he wasn't immobilized made that so I could take that chance. And I do want to lock the paladin down because he is in our flank, and as you can see, we've missed 2. But I can move up and try to eliminate the monk. It's not a monk, you idiot. And we did miss. It's a thief. You missed the thief, not the monk. I've been playing WoW again. After the new expansion, so everything WoW bleeds into my goddamn subconscious. So we are going to try to kill this guy, but it doesn't look like we're going to be able to, so we need to make sure that we weaken him and block him the best we can. So at this rate, he'll have to go around his buddy there to get around behind us. And he was able to actually reach the Black Mage, which pissed me off, but there was really nothing we could do there because we missed with Yave. My plan hinged on Yave, and it didn't work out. So as you can see, their healer's not doing anything because no one's in critical state. Fuck. Nobody's in critical state, so they do actually jump up into a position where I was able to put one of them in a critical state, but it was after the action of the White Mage, so I'm not overly worried about his ability to heal. And I am worried about that paladin and the fact that the thief is not dead yet. So I'm trying to move the White Mage to safety and get my Black Mage healed up. The Black Mage did take a beating there, and it is the paladin's turn. I did luck out and have the paladin decide that it wanted to use his small heal. This may be another thing with the AI, where if a unit has an ability to heal, they might subdue... Fucking idiot. I don't know what's wrong with me. It's early. It's like 5:30 in the morning when I'm recording this, and I haven't slept yet. They will forego their choice at attack to heal an ally instead. And if that's the case, you can use that to your advantage later on. I can't confirm it yet, but it seems likely that that's the case. So, just taking actions here with our archer. She's kind of low level because she's usually dead right the fuck away. So, it's nice being able to just take pot shots with her where she's relatively safe. Well, for now. And she can take pot shots, just she's not hoping for RNGesus to aim leg somebody down. And we did put the healer to sleep. Now I chose to put the healer to sleep because, well, the thief is still hurting pretty bad, and I'd like to take some actions against him and not worry about him trying to, or worry about him being healed or trying to escape. And here's where I wasn't paying attention, and he healed himself. Because some of these guys have abilities from other classes as well, like First Aid, for instance. But that's okay. I am going to speed break the paladin, and that hurts paladins really bad, especially if it's a pure paladin and it hasn't been leveled as anything else. His speed stat is abysmal. So on its own, that's pretty rough. He's not going to be a big threat right now. I do want to lock him down so he doesn't become a surprise threat later on, but we are going to take down the thief. And because the healer is put away for now, we can do so relatively comfortably. So we can just continue to use our White Mage here to heal everyone and continue to press the attack on the thief. Once that thief is dead, we're only dealing with an archer that I'm not overly worried about. He could be aggravating, but at most he's, damage-wise, very little. I mean, if I left him alone the entire time and didn't have a healer, there might be a problem. And holy shit, our archer killed somebody. That may be the first time. I'd have to go look at older videos, but that might be the first time that she's lived long enough to kill somebody. And he does go for the blind on Marsh. Nope. Not today. So, we're going to close on the archer, being the archer is the only one we can really effectively kill because I would like to keep the healer asleep. And I don't want to kill the paladin. So we're going to try to keep the Paladin alive as long as we can here, long enough for so we can get Mont Blanc over here to steal that shield that I want. And we are double checking our soldier to see when he's coming out. And we are hemorrhaging mana at this point. So there's not a lot we can do, but we do still have our defensive line against the warrior, and the warrior is unable to get to us, but he has Magic Break. And I'm actually kind of glad he used Magic Break on our Black Mage there, because I would like to be able to heal. I feel healing is more important at this stage of the battle, after we've bursted down some of the higher threat enemies. So we'll continue to be safe in our line back here, but I will unfortunately not be able to do anything with the Black Mage because of that Magic Break, which is a good move on his part, but in the grand scheme of things, not overly troublesome. And we do go for another aim legs, and we get it. So the Paladin is locked. All I have to do is move away from him. He's not going to be threatening anybody other than the people right next to him. And I'd much rather have Marsh right next to him to get criticaled in the goddamn face. So that's a little bit aggravating. Kind of fucks with my defensive line here, but their healer is still asleep, so I can pick and choose targets as I please until that guy wakes back up. And again, Archer, not really overly worried about it. He can plink down Mont Blanc if he can hit him, though. What the fuck? Oh, I forgot how early he woke up. But for whatever reason, he smacks... What the fuck? I don't remember that happening at all. Ever. I don't remember that happening. What happened while I was playing? I don't remember him smacking Diesel in the head and healing him. What the hell happened there? Oh, now I remember. I probably did remember that, and I sat there for a second thinking, what the fuck just happened? Well, there you go. You got my actual reaction for when that happened. Jesus Christ. Alright. Let's put the soldier back to sleep and continue on with our lives. That was dumbfounding. I couldn't figure it out. So, although that was hilarious, we're gonna go ahead and end that. Alright. So after that interesting tidbit, we did bring down the healer, and we still don't have enough mana to take an action. But we'll just keep our line built up to protect our healer. With the healer and the two thieves out of the way, we're pretty comfortable. We have the Paladin who can't move and I'm trying to steal from, so not really overly worried. And we have the warrior who is now asleep. It's not a warrior, it's a soldier. Too much WoW. And we have the archer. The archer, not too worried about. When it comes to dealing with the archer, though, kind of aggravating because it's a hilly terrain and he's way over there. And we'll get our free aim leg here because he's asleep. Happy about that. I did face her away from the enemy archer, so hopefully she'll draw some fire from him. And now we can wake him up because he can't move. And here's the archer. Now we'll see if that worked. It didn't, because he still wants Mont Blanc dead. So when it comes to the AI, don't quite have it figured out when it comes to archers, but that's okay. Not a big deal, he's not the most threatening thing. Maybe if it was a sniper poisoning everybody, or trying to death sickle everybody to death, we might have a problem. But in this case, he's more aggravating than anything else. So, with the Paladin locked down and the Soldier locked down, we can plink away at the Soldier, heal our units that have been hurt, specifically Marsh, who took a crit, and try to eliminate everything else as we whittle down to the Paladin. And we get a critical from our Archer. Our Archer's putting in some work this game. Or this mission, I guess I should say. Just strange not seeing her dead or running for her life, as is the case in most of the missions. And we do miss. That's a pain in the ass. That means he's going to get another attack. And he does. But not overly worried. Our healer's still doing fine. And we finish him with Yve. And Yve levels up. All things considered, this mission wasn't overly difficult, but it was due to a little bit of luck that we were able to pin the faster thieves pretty quickly and kill the guy with double sword, the great game crasher, very quickly. And he does fucking charm our healer, which aggravated me a little bit, but in the grand scheme of things, not too bad. And I do go to smack him with the goddamn dagger to try to knock him out of it, and he goddamn dodges it. Our white mage dodged. Mont Blanc, you piece of shit. So now I have to take another action to try to snap him out of it by shooting him with our archer. And we do. I really didn't want him to have my healer running around doing whatever the fuck. Who knows what. I would much rather have control of my units, thank you. So, and I will smack my own units around to keep that control. Now, I move up on him not just because I don't have enough mana to hit him with something else, but because I'm trying to keep his angle of retreat away, because they're going to keep moving away from me. So I was trying to keep him from running up the damn hill and making this really difficult. So in the grand scheme of things, it doesn't really matter who you do that with, but you just really don't want him running up that hill because he's just going to be aggravating and waste your time. He's not a major threat as long as you have a healer, but I didn't want him running up that damn hill. I mean, there's a lot of space to cover. You'd have to wrangle him and try to keep him from running away, so now he's forced to move back or away from the Black Mage. And in this case, he did shoot at Colette for some reason. So I don't really understand the AI fully, but it seems like it would be better to shoot at our Black Mage, but they might also select targets at random. And he is hurting. He only has 29 HP left. I decided to go for a boost simply because I don't think I can hit him head on, because my archer doesn't seem to have very good accuracy at this point. So, seeing an advantage, having the paladin face away, we're going to try to sleep him. And it works. So now he is not a worry at all. I can move around him all I want. He's speed broken and pinned and slowed. And now we've got him asleep. So there's really nothing he can do. And we're just going to be waiting for Mont Blanc to get some more mana so he can try to steal the shield. Well, as we kill the archer, of course. But the archer, never really a concern. And Diesel takes care of it. Now, here's the part I was talking about earlier in the video, in the introduction. Here's where we fuck around and try to steal the shield. Now, this doesn't take overly long because I've sped up the video, but we are waiting for mana, and we are waiting for everybody to get in position, and to hope that we actually steal the object. So at this point, if you want to skip ahead to the end of the mission, or when I'm getting the killing blow, I'll put a annotation in there so you can just skip ahead if you don't give a damn about me positioning and whatnot, trying to get the shield that I want. And we do use another aim leg while he's asleep to make sure he stays pinned. And it's good experience for the archer since she doesn't usually get to stay alive for very long. So if you guys are sticking around right now, hey, how's it going? You guys good? Yeah, I'm good too. Just getting over being sick. Yeah, there's gonna be more videos. Yeah, now that I'm better, there's gonna be some more videos. Sounds good. I know, I like it. So here we go. And we have the opal shield. Pretty sure I called it an opal shield earlier. If I didn't, that's what I meant. This is a long video, so I hope I called it an opal shield. Now we can just finish him off. And if you're still here, thanks for sticking around, watching us steal this and basically bully this one unit into the ground. Just trying to spread out XP now at this point. Enemies do scale with you in this mod, so you can't farm up a bunch of higher level units and go into lower level missions, they will scale with you. But it doesn't mean that it doesn't help you. And there we go. Mission complete. We got the Thesis back, and Mont Blanc was proven wrong. Pretty good day. I don't know, I feel like there should be a voiceover that yells "complete" at the end of that. Maybe too much Smash Bros. So with this mission complete, I'm going to, obviously I'm not going to be doing all of the missions in this whole game. This game is insanely long. But as far as this series goes, I'm going to continue along, occasionally doing side missions if they're interesting or if I hear they're difficult, and then mostly progressing as you would if you weren't going all over the place on tangents. So my plan is to finish this series by kind of playing naturally but not going too far off the rails as everything scales with you. But I do want to experience a lot of the game as we go. So, and when the series is complete, I do plan to eventually come back to it either when it's updated again or just to finish side missions. So, just if anybody was wondering. I am going to be doing other series, maybe alongside this, but they won't be Let's Play series. They'll be game guides or other various things. Similar to my Diablo 3 game guides, except I'm doing a lot of stuff to improve them, doing some intro stuff, outro stuff, all this stuff. You'll see it. Now we've unlocked clans. So things just got a lot more complicated, and fun, hopefully. So, with that, we've got some mastery done, and the mission's complete. I'd like to thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys next time.